Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod in a 40 unit save version. Well, we had some fun last time. We picked up a territory we weren't even planning to pick up here, and we got a lot of stragglers moving into our area to try and wreak havoc on our infrastructure, I'm assuming, since they seem to be avoiding any territories where we have any armies. So we're gonna try and set ourselves up. Hopefully next time, well, set ourselves up. We are repairing, re-recruiting, and we move some forces down here. We have some dragoons over here, and speaking of dragoons, I think we'll see if we can hire just a couple more, since there's a fair amount over here, just in case we might need a tiny bit more support back here. I'll feel a little more comfortable with that. What we have left really to do before we can move on to the next turn and then hopefully get a little mobile with some of our forces down here is we need to spend some money. And I'm thinking I don't really want to invest a lot here since they're still prone to be sending armies in to just raid and do damage. So let's head over to the Americas and see what we can spend over there. I guess what we'll do is I just want to do a quick double check on infrastructure and see what we're able to spend over here on that. Infrastructure is the most common one for me to forget sometimes because it's over here in its own tab. Construction and upgrading, you got your symbols right there on the map. Infrastructure is a little more hidden, so we're just going to try floating through some infrastructure territories here in the Americas and see if we have any upgrade opportunities that present themselves. New Andalusia, the Leeward Islands. So yeah, there's a lot of road upgrades that we can still take place. Not a lot that really matter to movement, but they do. As you can see, the metal roads, they give additional +5 per turn to town wealth in the region, so it does help. Even though we don't get the benefit on a road like this for movement, it does help our income, which is why I like to go ahead and get this done. Only cobbled roads there on the Windward Islands that we took from the French. Oh, Lisbon, Portugal. Whoa, what the heck? We missed something and it popped over to Europe. Let's go get that done too. If we got some more European areas that need some upgraded roads while we can afford it, we might as well. For some reason in my mind I had it that all the European structures and infrastructures had been completed, but obviously I was mistaken. So there we go. I think we've spent the money there. I'm going to take a quick peek just because it's been a few days or a couple days since I last recorded to make sure I haven't missed any other characters to move, and then we'll get on to the next turn. I think what we're going to do is move this missionary up here in Sweden. It's owned by Russia. Why am I spending my time trying to convert up there? Let's get us moving off to somewhere else where it might do us some more good, at least down the road. And then with this rake, now that we do have a quick picture over here, I think I'm going to run up to our next couple territories over here that I don't think I've ever gotten a look at over here. Well, that's Pleasure Gardens, but yeah, we have Kashmir up here, Punjab up here. I've never really taken a peek at these. I'm going to send him up towards Punjab if he hasn't already. Yeah, he can't move very far. I guess we'll take you by the roads. No huge threats over here. And there's our agents, and there's everything we need to deal with. We're going to have another predicted good income year coming up, 35,000. And I can't think of anything else we really need to address at the moment. So we're going to take our next turn, and we'll see you on the other side. Alright, looks like we have an agent detected. I haven't seen an agent get detected in ages, so let's go find out where we were detected. Okay, we got kicked out of Berlin. Saw a lot of movement from Russian land forces, so let's just take a breather and just park nearby, someplace where we should be able to infiltrate.
Ik onderzoek het doel.
And we are good. and it'll allow us to keep an eye over on Berlin, even though we aren't exactly in Berlin itself. Recruitment report, our dragoons down in India are there, so we got a couple more to help us out. And we got a whole mess. Even with our bankruptcy, we're somehow had enough things going. And then we got a nice full page, so there you go. And a cure for scurvy. What do you know? Scurvy is an appalling disease that affects sailors and soldiers whilst at sea or away from home for long periods, symptomized by spots on the legs and feet, spongy gums leading to loss of teeth, bleeding of gums and membranes, and the opening of scars thought healed. Depression and hallucination are also common symptoms. There have been several claims over the years by European scientists stating a link between scurvy and a lack of fresh fruit and vegetables. The Royal Navy has only recently accepted this due to the efforts of one of its own surgeons, James Lind. Lind has undertaken a clinical trial in order to prove his suggestion that putrefaction through scurvy can be remedied by the administration of acid supplements. In doing so, he has discovered that the sailors who recovered most satisfactorily were the ones fed on fruit, particularly citrus fruits such as lemons and limes. It is hoped that these findings will soon be adopted as policy across all disciplines of the armed forces. So, a cure for that dreaded sea-borne disease, or I guess that you'd call it actually lack of proper nutrition kind of a disease. So there you go. Lots going on back in these times. 1747 this time. I think we're in pretty good shape over here. There is some movement of forces, perhaps. Are we healed up down here with this army quite yet? No. We got the funds. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to get them repaired and back in business so we can get back on off an island, and say I'm thinking sending over towards Venice for the moment, just because we are at war with Austria and we don't need them sneaking in there. So hopefully we aren't too late getting that resolved, getting that done. And speaking of Austria, I did notice in the mid-turn they kind of swooped in with a mega small army and took back Munich, which they at one time held. But I also saw some mega stacks of Russian armies moving around over here, so I don't think they're going to be holding on to it for long. I just don't have that feeling. What else have we got going on over here? Are we still burning over here? Did I see a burning building over here? Yes, we did. I thought I saw some smoke over here. Let's get that repaired while we're back here in the Rhineland. And I think this army here may also need some healing after their engagement. And we didn't have the funds to do it. There we go. It's not a lot of injuries, I don't believe. But we'll get them repaired so we can then back off and head back towards, once all this is repaired, get back into our home country. So nobody does the old land on the coast and quickly swoop in while we're not there kind of a thing. All right, where a lot of the activity is taking place right now is over in India, so we're just going to get right on over there and take a peek at what went on mid-turn. Well, we got a little bit of more recruitment over here. That was only like a one regiment stack. It's growing a little bit, and they continue to send out some small stacks to try to raid into our area. They did consolidate their forces over here and move off in that direction. I don't know if we'll even have... Yeah, we do have the ability to run them down, and we may just do that. But the most significant thing that we might be able to do, that's a quick send out auto-resolve, We can take out these raiding parties. This one can come over. I can join up with my dragoons. This, if the repaired building here presents me, when I saw this, I'm kind of thinking, can I bring my army out of here by now? In fact, let's even upgrade that. And yeah, it looks very much like I could take my army out and not have to worry about public order. It may be flat, it may be zero. Still says devastation by armies is still there, but I thought we fixed it all. But overall, we're having growth and public order getting back in shape here. So let's see if I can move my army out, because we are back at full strength. And look at that, 0 and 1. So public order is just fine. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge right in here, go after this unit out in the open field, see if we can draw out the garrisoning army in here and fight an open field battle as opposed to a wall battle. I would much prefer that. And the units that start on the field, it's just 4 regiments. If I can quickly move in, swoop in, knock them out, then find out where the reinforcements are going to be entering the map from and kind of move over in that direction, we can start picking them off. I think we did that once before on more of a city fort battle that was getting reinforcements. And if you can get set up to deal with the reinforcements coming in off the map and just set up and wipe them out as they're entering the map, makes for, well, maybe it's boring watching, but it's a lot of fun to play and do. So that's what I'm going to try and set up as our tactic on this one. All right, it is far in our advance, or our favor over here as far as the power meter goes, and we definitely 47, 57, 6. So we're about 6,000 or 9,000. So we're a third larger, a third stronger as far as men go. So let's get down there on the battlefield and see if we can make this happen the way I'm hoping. All right, here we are. We got a hillside. Looks like kind of the setting sun kind of the part of the day. Their zone right in front of us. So I think what we do is we just do a standard line, get our artillery right in the center to bombard them, and then just move everybody forward. We're going to vastly outnumber them, and then keep our eyes open off in the distance, and or even behind us. We're not going to know exactly where they come in, and I've had some weird spots in which the reinforcements come in. So let me get this thing set up, and then we'll be right back and get going on this. All right, pretty basic setup. I decided, since we vastly outnumber them, at least to start, and overall, even after they're reinforced, we can afford to keep the guns all together. In fact, I don't believe I unlimbered them, so let's make sure that's get done. I got them set where I want them. There we go. They're ready to fire now. We have grenadiers, which we'll keep right behind to protect them, just in case I guess wrong and we're a little bit exposed, whatever. And we have the troops to spare, and the general will also be there in the center. Otherwise, we do have regiments of horse on the left. We do have regiments of horse on the right. And the rest of the line is double deep, ready to just move, and get this thing going. So the cannon will probably focus in on their artillery, and the rest of us can get ready to start moving right off the bat, is what I'm thinking. And we're going to keep our eyes open for their reinforcement zone, because that's where I'm going to want to head to try to meet them one by one as they enter the field of battle. Okay, here it looks like we're set up, or they're set up right in the center. There's their artillery right there, so we're going to be firing right on that. Let's get our units moving forward now. Have some Islamic swordsmen on the move, so we're going to have to keep our eyes open on them to see if they close in. No, they're kind of standing there at the moment, but that could change. Cannon fire, we've knocked out one gun and a good amount, almost 10 of their regiment. 2 guns now. So we're doing some damage, and the infantry that's moving through, or their swordsmen moving through, are sorry that they moved, chose that direction to march forward right now. And yes, we are going to have a lot, I mean a lot, of Islamic swordsmen, and probably, okay, enemy general has been killed. I'm assuming he was part of the artillery regiment we were bombing. We're going to bring up our reserve second line right now because we're probably going to be having some melee instances here. We'll just see if we can run the line right as close as possible back here to support. In fact, let's stop and see if we can fire. No, too late. I made the move too late and we are involved in melee combat. What we can do to help support that temporarily is bring some cavalry over here in the center. In fact, we got the same problem going on over here because I'm not paying attention. So we got cavalry over here that we can rush up in here to help out with the melee. In fact, we got their own horsemen coming in. So we need to stop and halt right away and address that. So their first reinforcements coming in have been cavalry. So we'll try and address that with some square formation. We got our cavalry coming in quick as possible. And looks like we had one regiment did not hold up well to the sword fire. Sword fire. To the swords just slashing into them. How about that? Okay, we're able to run them off fairly well so far. We're just going to keep running through to help out with our cavalry on this side. To help out with their own cavalry. They're bringing in a lot of camels on this side, so it's probably good that we've been converting to square formation. And it looks like we are good as far as, in fact, we're going to bring in a lot of cavalry coming in. So their early reinforcements that they're bringing in are cavalry. So much for going out to meet them, but that means they're coming from back here somewhere. Is where they're coming from. We got some pikemen back here that are not doing well. What have we got? Dragoons. Let's get working out here on cavalry where they have cavalry that hasn't been addressed yet. And keep some of these cavalry units here and there working on their retreating units so they can't reform so much and come back to haunt us. We might as well run down some of these Islamic swordsmen at the same time. So the plans were a little disrupted, not quite as pretty as we might have preferred. But we did get them addressed early on. They're going to have some cannon fire off in the distance to be able to bring against us soon as we're running these down. So maybe what we need to do, now that we have them dealt with at the moment, let's get out of line formation. And let's get marching to the reinforcement zone. That's what I'm saying. And that means heading off in this direction, up the hill, back this way. If I can find terrain that's friendly to getting a line formed over here. There we go. And what do we got over here? Pikemen have come back, and we don't want to get into that mess with the pikemen. If they've, their morale has improved, let's do something else here. Let's highlight our artillery and let's focus on the pikemen. As we run our horses out of here to focus on the Islamic swordsmen instead. Yeah, and that they don't like the bombardment. They do not like the bombardment. So we're going to take our foot infantry that kind of got disrupted in the advance on this side now, and we will continue the advance to support the other units coming up over here as we march towards their zone here. And what have we got coming at us now? Now we've got swordsmen coming at us. And I'm willing to take all the cavalry Let's see if we can charge into this one single regiment of swordsmen. They're going to take the brunt over here right at the start. Because that's a very large unit at 400 against our 128. Let's hope the rest of our cavalry can get there soon enough to support and help out. And then let's work on getting our reserve second line also advanced. Cavalry is not holding up well, so where is the other cavalry? Let's get up the hill here, guys. Let's get up the hill, get up the hill. Or I'm going to lose a regiment before you get there. Now we got them swamped. We got another round of Islamic swordsmen. They're going to come right behind. Not able to get our infantry moved up fast enough. Maybe it's time to run them. How tired are they at this point? Winded, but not tired. Time to refocus up here. Cavalry taking the brunt of the action right now. But we do have the first Islamic swordsman running away broken, so they could reform potentially. And the cavalry's taking the brunt of this because our infantry hasn't been fast enough to move up and respond. In fact, we got more dragoons down here. Let's just get all our cavalry massed, I guess, at the moment to fight their swordsmen. And we're breaking them also. Now we got some more coming up over here. Well, those are the cannons. And guess what? We need to deal with the cannons. Well, we got these Islamic swordsmen coming in here again themselves. And I think at this range, we've pretty much probably outpaced the abilities of our artillery. We've got all our lines moving forward. I'm hesitant to make them run too much. In fact, what have we got here now? Islamic swordsmen. Let's go, cavalry. Do your job, and soon our infantry is going to be in place. In fact, they're almost there now. Let's get the reserve, the other part of the line there, and then we can move forward towards the reinforcement zone. But they seem to be coming in somewhere back here more, so let's just keep ourselves advancing. Get ready for any more reinforcements that may come in. Yep, we see some more back there. And our regiments of horse are starting to feel the effects of prolonged battle with their swordsmen. In fact, now we got some musketeers coming in, so it would be nice to get these swordsmen dealt with. Our poor dragoons, 10 left. Wow, they did not hold up well in melee battle. And I'm about ready to retreat ourselves here. Yeah, our line infantry is just about there, and as soon as they are in place, we're just going to retreat. In fact, the swordsmen have decided to do us a favor and break before us. Time to retire the cavalry, our depleted cavalry now, and start doing battle on their reserves coming in. We actually have some camel gunners coming in that did not join at the beginning. Let's rush up the rest of the line so we can try and form our line properly. And then, since we're looking at mostly musketeers and cavalry, cavalry's coming over this way. We need a formation or two of square to discourage them. Smoke field battle. Let's get past the smoke. And they've halted their attack for whatever reason. I get the musketmen not coming in. They are not exactly melee troops, but the camel troops, I'm surprised they stopped when they did. And as soon as I say that, they decide to charge in on my one unit that has not converted to square formation. So we'll get their sabers out and do battle. That shouldn't last too long because we also have forces able to continue shooting and firing at them. And there they go. And the musketmen have been driven off too by our superior fire, and we have more swordsmen coming in, which shouldn't be an issue. So we can convert back to line formation with the camels being driven off. And they are shattered, so they will not be returning. This is where I should have my cavalry back out again, running off, but they are so close to the border and getting off the map that we will not worry about it. The musketmen did not, the musketeers did not quite reach that shattered state, so they have regrouped, and we may have to deal with them yet again. I think what we will do, just since we are dealing with melee units now, get our reserve lines very close by, just in case the worst happens. We dare them to come in and melee with us now. Let's see if they can close close enough, charge through the withering fire, and still be able to attack. We'll find out. They're wavering already. And I guess they had a quick change of heart. 2 steps, about face. Let's get the hell out of here. The musketmen, though, we'll see if they bolster their morale when they get back to the musketmen, because they're only broken and not shattered. What do we have left over here? The musketeers, some other musketeers deciding to try and come down and flank us a little bit. So we'll take some of our melee units that we kind of had planned for melee, bring them over here, get them back on fire at will, and run, boys, run. And they've regrouped for the recharge. So these musketeers have seen battle also. They've regrouped, so it won't take too much fire to get them to break again. See if we can get out here and form soon enough here. Let's go, guys. I ran you for a reason. The musketeers are coming in. The Islamic swordsmen are just saying no way. We can't get close enough. And pretty soon the musketeers are going to be thinking the same thing. This is one of those instances where I'm fine sending out some cavalry. This is their job. Run them down. I'm not seeing any other units coming on board, so we'll just see if we can run them down before they get off the map, before they get off the border, and get this battle. They reformed here, but they do not hold up well to charge, and they're down to 281. And I think in their depleted state, we are going for the charge here. I'm telling you, I don't care if square formation or not. And these in the back are fairly fresh musketeers, so I think the cavalry is not in position to go against full strength musketeers. I got some VOC units in here. Let's just get them back in line. Cavalry did get out here in time to deal with these musketeers, but they're in some weird terrain, so I don't know how much damage they're going to do. Although, they're not broken. They're shaken, they're wavering. So hopefully we're doing enough to them to shake them up, and it looks like we are, even though we are heavily wounded in this process. In fact, I'm kind of thinking... I'm not feeling comfortable with the amount of soldiers we have out there right now, so if we're gonna... Oh, there we go. They broke for us, because that did not make me feel comfortable, this battle. And they got away. And this looks like it is our final unit, maybe, left on the battlefield. And if that's the case, this battle should just about be over. Oh wait, I take that back. We got some pikemen, so we do still have units coming on board. Not the type of situation I want to run my cavalry into. So what we got to do is keep advancing with our line now, little by little, to box them in. Well, if they're coming to us, I guess I don't have to yet. But they're now they're breaking. So let's bring this line up here. And let's do it fast, guys. And then we'll have this side of the lines advance against those pikemen that we just saw. Can we form over the hills here? It doesn't look like it. Gonna be tough. Terrain is not friendly to making lines. All we got left is the pikemen back here is what it's looking like. And if it's pikemen that are gonna come into melee, let's get the... Excuse me, let's get the reserve forces a little closer to help us out. More musketeers. Now, so there's reinforcements still coming on over here. Very delayed. It's very stretched out and delayed. I'm really surprised. Come on, let's get firing, guys. I want everybody firing. There we go. Just in time to make it happen. Guys a little bit closer over here. Can we find a way with this terrain to make that happen? I guess we're gonna have to go break down into smaller units to make it happen. We're able to hold our own against musketmen, so I'm not concerned over there. Are you guys able to see up the hill? Probably not. So we end this thing the way it started. We're gonna send our reserves in. Oh no, they are able to shoot up the hill. This will not last long. Probably not doing a lot of damage up the hill. So instead, let's do this. At a run. Valiantly holding on. The Mughal Empire and their Hindu musketeers, the final unit standing in the way of victory on this very strange, one regiment appearing at a time kind of a battle. get there. And the fact that they are going to realize that they're getting surrounded is not going to make them feel good, is it now? I'd be wavering long ago. Let's form, men. Any day now. Let's form, men. There we go. Let's start firing. Now they will go down quickly. The valiant Hindu musketmen taking fire from all sides against superior forces, not breaking, not giving up, but fighting on, fighting on, fighting on. Guns to the left of them, guns to the right of them. And they're going to run out the only way they can. And that should be the end of this battle. Close victory. So we paid the price in some casualties, but we've come out victorious. That's what matters. All right. So we actually didn't lose quite as many as I expected here. 1,893. They're left with 2,200 or thereabouts to crawl back into their forts, perhaps. Let's go see what this looks like. Oh, they both. Well, what do you know? Both armies retreated. We gained a trait plus 5% infantry unit combat range movement, so that's very nice. And plus 2 command when leading infantry. So there you go. And guess what we're going to do? What do you think the odds are, now that everybody's abandoned them, that they just might surrender? Let's find out. There you go. We have a new territory, guys. What do you know? And the first thing we're due, first order of business, burn down those walls. We'll just do quick repair since we have the funds. Let's do repairs before conversion, I guess. You don't have to worry so much in this particular game about converting to your kind of building. I'm kind of in that mindset. With the other Total War game we're playing, the 1212 AD mod, the buildings don't do you any good if they're not of your faction's kind or your religious kind of buildings, whatever the various buildings provide. You got to put your own building up before you start getting the benefits. Here, you just got to fix them, and you're going to gain some benefits, is my best understanding the way it works here. Okay, we're going to see if we can deal with some of these loose ends right now, and the first loose end is coming over here. I think we have time to squeeze in a minor battle like this one. And we're going to bring these forces over, and we're going to bring over some dragoons to the bridge, and hopefully they will be considered reinforcements. We're about to find out. Yes, they are. We're going to take on this battle. Even once again, it's in our favor, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4 cavalry units, 2 melee style units. So we'll see how we hold up with this. We'll see you down on the battlefield. All right, there's no artillery in this particular battle, so we got our lines set. Not a lot of lines in depth, but if the cavalry is the one that's going to charge us from them, then we can square formation. And we'll see whether we advance or have to stay put, depending on where they come up. And let's find out where our reinforcements come in. Let's get this going. Okay, they're fairly far back, and I want to get a sense of my reinforcements is what I do. And is that it over on the side here? There they are. Like I just ordered them to come in on the flank here. So let's start our advance. We will start advancing to them. We are, after all, the attacking force. Let's come to the top of the rise here. Let's keep these guys put to come in on our flank to help us out, and let's bring our whooping units in reserve that we have. For support. adapting and shifting a tiny bit. There's our 2 ground units. Everything else is cavalry behind that. And they're allowing us to move at this point to get into position. In fact, we're going to run the rest of the way. Get up there, boys. Cavalry can close fast if that is what they're going to try to do. As a matter of fact, let's stop in square formation on the flank. In fact, shall we do the same here? We will on this flank. We'll convert to square formation. I'm thinking we may just do that on this side a little bit. This side we don't have to worry about it. We're just going to come in and see about flanking them. In fact, we got isolated camel nomads in the back. Problem is, I'm not sure after that last battle how much I trust the melee value of dragoons. 4 units, 160. Yeah, so we vastly outnumber them. We're going to charge. And we are going to bend our line in here. And quick advance. We're going to keep our reserves right around the bend here in case there happens to be any melee we need help with. Need to fire quickly, boys, if we're going to hold off this charge. Dragoons are able to avoid the ground troops? Not quite. Come on, keep the charge going. Don't get distracted back here. So far we have driven off these units on this side, and all around we have driven them off. Question being, our dragoons are having their challenges back here, as they did get clipped by the Islamic swordsmen, and we're going to lose some forces because of that. But hopefully the camel nomads will be overwhelmed as they are right now before the Islamic swordsmen are able to close in. And with that in mind, we are sending forward our line. We've killed the enemy general. We're not overwhelming the way I had hoped. Let's charge through if we can. We don't need to be closing in battle with the Islamic swordsmen right at this moment. We have our line regiments advancing to do that. Looks like we've pushed everybody out except, whoops, we have some camel gunners over here. Keep advancing down. We'll chase our dragoons against their retreating forces at the moment. We're going to take out a square formation because we don't need it anymore. Where are all these extra camel gunners coming from? That's what I want to know. I thought they only had 4 regiments. Recall seeing them getting reinforcements. Square formation, boys. We're getting surprised. We're not going after Islamic horsemen anymore. Islamic swordsmen are being... Oh, no, these are camel nomads. Camel nomads, I'm fine bringing the dragoons all the way back to deal with them. They're highly depleted. And our swordsmen... We're going to pull back at a run. See if we can outpace them, and if not, we're going to bring our reserves over here to help bolster the melee. Okay, spore formations have driven off these camel gunners. They're highly depleted. And we did not form in time to take shots. They're going after the dragoons. They have a thing for our dragoons right now. So what we're going to do is bring our soldiers back, try to draw these Islamic swordsmen back into our line here, which we're trying to reform yet again, to deal them the final crushing blow. But this has been the most frustrating mobile battle. Forces not going where I desired them to go, or expected them to go, is maybe the better way to put it. Dragoons, get out of there. You just don't want to enclose with these guys. Jeez, oh Pete. Not responding to orders. And they're gonna waver and be driven off and take excess casualties because of it. So I'm not happy with the way my dragoons play out. They apparently are much better suited for dismounting and shooting in that fashion. But as far as regular cavalry units enclosing for charges and whatnot, dragoons just aren't doing it. Not for me. Get going, guys. Away from these guys. They just keep running at us. So we're going to run. If they want to follow my dragoons, we're going to bring them to our line infantry. And they've broken. After all that, they finally broke with a few shots. Did not take much. We're gonna run them. Excuse me. We're gonna run them down. Okay, and we have a close victory with a few of the Islamic swordsmen getting away. Probably around 40 that we were chasing down. And there we go. We lost 6-14, so it wasn't quite as bad as it felt. But I have a feeling most of that was our dragoons. We did chase them off, and that's fine by me. What I will do is combine our forces, and we will heal our wounds. And I'm going to do 2 quick auto resolves over here. Move back in. Get ourselves re-healed, and we're going to do the same right over here. That'll teach you to come moving next to our forces as you come in to raid our territory. And let's return to our territory. And once again, we'll get everybody healed back up. And there we go. So I think what we're going to do is stop at this time with things back under control here in India. We'll come back and see how we want to spend our funds, see how the public order is looking, so we can figure out and determine how soon we'll be able to move on out and take over some more territories that we will be needing. Basically, for victory, official victory conditions, I just need to take over Hindustan back here and Goa way down here, where they also just retreated to. So fortunately, by doing this open field battle here, we avoided this fort battle, this messy, ugly fort battle, and this city also has no fort. So that's great. We're going to have another open field battle when we get ready to take this over too. So this is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Do me that favor, thumbs up. I love those thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have any thoughts, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.